So this is going to be a trailer reaction for the first trailer for Transformers Rise of the Beast. This is the official teaser trailer. At the time that I'm recording this right now, this trailer debuted on Paramount Pictures YouTube channel 49 minutes ago, so the trailer is still pretty fresh, and yeah, this is the first ever look at this film, and yeah, I'm really excited to watch this teaser trailer. Now, you'll be forgiven for not even realizing that there was another Transformers movie coming out, just because Transformers has been essentially kind of a dead franchise for a few years now. You know, you had Transformers The Last Night, which really just sort of killed the Michael Bay films. That was just a god-awful movie. But then you had Bumblebee come around, which was a nice little movie, you know, smaller scale, but it was a fun, enjoyable movie that had some heart. But that movie was now like over 4 years ago at this point. And by the time that this movie comes out, it's going to be 5 years since that movie. So they've definitely taken their time and putting this movie out. But this movie is a continuation of sort of the Bumblebee sort of storyline that they started. And it's still going to have Optimus and some other Autobots and stuff like that. But with that title, Rise of the Beast, you're going to be getting the sort of Beast Wars influence on this with characters from that, meaning like Optimus Prime and some of those kind of guys, which Beast Wars, I'll get more into that sort of after I watch this trailer. But yeah, Transformers, I'm super excited to see what this trailer has. It's been so long since there was another Transformers movie, so we'll see what kind of crazy shit this trailer has to offer. So enough rambling, and just get the trailer set up. Oops. Alright. Watching in 3, 2, 1, and... Wow. Oh, I thought that was the actual thing. Okay. Optimus Primal, here we go. There he is. Optimus.
Stand down. I'm not the one to fear, Prime. There is a darkness coming.
Oh, Bumblebee.
It was all a dream. Pull over! I'm not driving! And if you don't know, now you know.
Oh, that's Mirage. Oh, damn. RC.
Of all the threats, from both your past and future, you've never faced anything like this. Let them come.
Oh. Oh, man.
And if you don't know, now you know.
This can't be real. This can't be real. Oh, it's real.
Oh yeah, that was oops. That was overall. That was pretty sick. That was just fun to see Transformers in action again. Even with all the movies, I've always enjoyed sort of the aesthetic, the transformations, all that kind of stuff. All right, well, interesting song choice there. You know, using the lyrics from that song. If you don't know, now you know. I'm not going to finish the final words in that lyrics, but most people know what I'm talking about. But anyway, as for the trailer, all right, so I guess the main thing in terms of seeing how the Beast War elements sort of play in here is that I think aesthetically they look pretty good. I was mentioning again sort of my thoughts on Beast Wars after I saw the trailer, and I was never like Beast Wars from when I've watched it. I mean, it's a show from the 90s, and I've just never thought that it looked great. I've seen some episodes. I've sort of tried to get into the story, and it's like, man, maybe it's just a little dated for this time. It's just not a great looking show, at least for me anyway. But you see how these elements translate in terms of like seeing Optimus Primal, and I think overall the look is like pretty good. You know, he got a big sort of mechanical ape thing going, and then you see his sort of full on, you know, robot mode towards the end, and it looks pretty solid. In terms of the general look of it and how it sort of translates mechanically and stuff like that, I do think the CGI is looking not, it looks okay. That's something with the Michael Bay films that you can say what you want about them. There's plenty to say, but those always had some really damn near perfect CG. The CG in this definitely don't look perfect or not great yet. You can see some of the rendering, and it's just like, all right, at times it looks a little video game-ish, not just like Optimus Primal and the other sort of Beast Towards guys. Even like Optimus Prime himself, like those shots that we saw of him in the beginning and some of the stuff later on, it doesn't look perfect, not yet, but this is a first trailer, and you know they still got months for this movie to come out, so hopefully they can improve the CGI. But I mean, it's just great seeing Optimus again. I love Optimus Prime. He's one of my favorite movie heroes also. It's great to see him in action. You got Bumblebee, seeing him in action, and it looks like the general style in terms of those guys, it looks like kind of a hybrid of what we saw from the Bumblebee movie and then the 5 movies and the Michael Bay films. Kind of an in-between style, because it definitely looks more detailed than it did in Bumblebee. Bumblebee kind of simplicized, if that's a word, the designs of Optimus and Bumblebee from the 5 movies, the Michael Bay movies. That movie was more simple. This is kind of a good in-between. But I love the look in terms of just seeing the guys like transform. Those guys, so that's really cool. And then I guess sort of the showcase here, in terms of I guess your main, at least besides Optimus Primal, sort of the spotlight character in this trailer was Mirage. That's a classic, the G1 character right there. He was kind of in the previous Michael Bay movies, although kind of not really in Dark of the Moon, but that really character didn't have anything to do with Mirage as he's shown here. This is sort of harkening back to Mirage as he's supposed to be in the classic form, mainly showing his Mirage ability, generating those holograms, and that was a really cool sequence. That was a lot of fun. And so I think with this one, because we've had, you know, several movies of Bumblebee being sort of the spotlight kind of like character that has a relationship with a kid or teenager or whatever, you got Mirage in this one, and that sequence is really cool. So maybe that's going to be the new sort of human bot relationship in this one. That sequence is really cool. You got to see RC for a little bit. I'm hoping, I mean, they're obviously going to do RC some major justice here compared to what happened with her in her other live action appearance in Transformers Revenge of the Fallen. That was a huge joke. Her design was terrible, and then in terms of how they used her, she had like 2 lines in that movie, and they killed her off, and her screen time probably wasn't above, like, I'd say no more than like 30 seconds or a minute. It was really minimal and kind of crappy what Michael Bay did with her in that movie, and a lot of things in that movie, to be honest. But this one looks like it's got its priorities in the right place. You know, the action, it looks pretty like big in scale in terms of what we've seen, a much larger in scale compared to what we saw in Bumblebee. That was really the only sort of thing with that movie. It had a lot of good stuff going for it with the heart, you know, the direction for the most part and stuff like that, relationships. I do wish in my Transformers film, I like to see more of an ensemble piece, which is why I wasn't the craziest, like, oh my god, best Transformers film with Bumblebee. This one looks like it can be that sort of good hybrid, giving us a quality film that's a good Transformers ensemble piece. Because with here, we saw Optimus, we saw Bumblebee, saw RC, Mirage, Optimus Primal, and the other sort of Beast War characters. You got your bad guys coming in. That looks fine. You saw sort of what looked to be a major battle towards the end of the trailer. So yeah, this was a fun trailer to watch. I think my only problem is that the CG. I don't think it looked. I don't think the CG looked great. But, you know, you definitely don't want that in your trailer. But, you know, a good thing about it is that for the final result, the movie still has another, you know, from this point, 7 months to go till it's released. This is coming out June of next year. So I can't wait to see this. You know, Transformers, like I mentioned, it's been a dead franchise for years now, and I don't know if this will bring it back to the same popularity that it had with those original sort of Michael Bay films before the series kind of petered out at the end in spectacular fashion. But this one looks like it can be some really good stuff and giving me sort of the Transformers ensemble piece I want to see. but in a quality sort of movie form. You know, that's the thing with those Michael Bay movies. They didn't have to be, you know, regardless of what you think, you know, they didn't have to be great movies, but he just didn't need them to be god awful. And some of them were just truly spectacularly awful films. Regardless if they still had some good things going for it. I mean, I'm talking about The Last Night and some stuff in Revenge of the Fallen. But this one looks like it can be, you know, the Transformers film that I really want to see. And I really can't wait to see this one. Just 'cause, like I said, Transformers has a lot about it that I really enjoy about the franchise over the years. I'm not talking about just the movies, cartoons and all that kind of stuff, video games. So yeah, this was definitely a fun trailer to watch, one that was a long time coming, and I can't wait to see Transformers Rise of the Beast. I guess, like I said, it's really weird that music choice that they went with to go with those lyrics, but whatever. I guess as an overall trailer, it was a lot of fun. So that'll do it for this trailer reaction for Transformers Rise of the Beast. You made it to the end of this video. Thank you for watching.